Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Alexa, and in today's video, we are going to be picking my October TBR. My TBR jar has a measly 7 prompts left in it, so I'm going to have to refresh this before we pick my November TBR, or I could use a different TBR picking method for November. Either way, I'm going to be refreshing this in the near future, but for now, I think we are just going to stick with the usual and pick 6 prompts. I'll just leave the last one in there whenever I refresh and add new prompts into it. But yeah, let's just get started with the first prompt. It says, on Kindle Unlimited. All right, I'm gonna have to do some research and figure out what I can use for this prompt. All right, I found a couple of good options. The first one I grabbed is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I think this is a YA romantasy, if I'm not mistaken. And then I also grabbed Hello Stranger by Catherine Center. This one is about a woman who is an artist, and I believe she has an accident where she then develops facial blindness. So it's kind of a story about her coping with that, and also kind of a coming of age story in a way. Okay, between the two of these, just solely based on vibes, this one seems way more like a winter book, and this one is feeling way more like a fall book. So solely because of that, I am going to choose The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I also feel like I have so many YA books, and I have not been reading very many YA books, so I have a lot that I need to get through, as you can see here. So this is going to be my first book on the October TBR. I feel so bad putting the reject books back. All right, next pick. It is a library book. I know the purpose of picking a TBR is to read your physical books, but hear me out with this prompt. If I'm reading a book from the library that I already want to read, I'm not going to buy that book, bring it into my house, and then wait to read it, therefore adding to the physical TBR. If I just get a book from the library, I typically immediately read it and then return it. So we may not be taking a book off of our physical TBR necessarily, but I'm basically preventing myself from accidentally adding another book onto my physical TBR by buying something that I won't read immediately. And I get to read a book that I want to read. So I already know what book I want to get from the library, and I'm gonna put it on hold right now. I'm gonna be putting Thunderhead by Neal Shusterman on hold at the library. This is the second book in the Arc of a Scythe series, I think it's called. The first book is just called Scythe, and then the second book is Thunderhead. The third book is The Toll. And then I think there's also a fourth book. I'm not sure if it's a collection of short stories or if it's a novella, but it is called The Gleanings. So yeah, I've really been wanting to continue that series, and I feel like it is the perfect series to continue reading in October. If you don't know what this series is about, it is basically a dystopian world where death has been conquered. So the only people that can kill in order to keep the population under control are scythes. But basically the two main characters are chosen to be apprentices to a scythe. And so we're just following them through their journey with that. I think the first book was really interesting, so I'm excited to jump into the second one. Third prompt, it is going to be parents pick. Okay, I'm gonna text my parents and see if one of them is free to pick a book for my TBR. Okay, so they're both available right now, and they both want to pick a book for the TBR. So I know I originally said that I was only gonna do 6 picks, but I'll just let this one be like a 2-for-1, and we'll just end up with 7 at the end. A little bonus book in there. My mom picked The Only One Left by Riley Sager. I'm pretty sure she has already read this and wants me to talk about it with her, so I'm pretty sure that's why she picked this one. But whoa, the back of this book is so creepy. I don't know if you can see it at all on camera, but there's like a very faint picture of a black rope here. That's crazy. Anyways, this book is about a woman who I believe lived at a house where everybody got murdered. I'm pretty sure she can't talk and she uses a typewriter to communicate. And then I think some type of caretaker ends up coming to this house to take care of this woman. And the woman has never told the story of what happened with all the murders at the house, but she decides to tell this caretaker everything that happened. So yeah, I think it's basically the story of this lady unraveling the story of what happened at this house. And yeah, this one is going to be a perfect read for October. It sounds very spooky, creepy, and eerie. Exactly what I want in an October read. So it's going on the TBR. And then my dad, I have absolutely no idea why he picked this book, but he picked 5-Star Stranger by Tang. I got this one in my Book of the Month box for August. This one is also from Book of the Month, but I actually thrifted this one. But yeah, I got this one last month, and it is pretty much about a person who is a stranger for hire. I'm pretty sure the main character goes unnamed the entire book, and it's basically just about his journey being a stranger for hire. He goes to weddings as a wedding guest. He is a stand-in brother, and he is the father to random children that are not his. Pretty much just following his journey being a stranger for hire and seeing how he does or does not get too emotionally invested in these situations. I think it's kind of also a social commentary on the gig economy that we have these days. It's also oddly short. It's only 227 pages, so this should be a really quick read. And yeah, these are my parents' picks, so I'm pretty happy with them, and they're both going on the October TBR. All right, next prompt. It is nonfiction. I'm not a big nonfiction girl, but we are gonna find something that I will read next month. All right, I think I'm between these two memoirs. I have Educated by Tara Westover and Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. I always see people talking about how this is like the book to read in your 20s because it just talks about love and relationships and just life. And this one is about Tara. She was born into a family of, I believe it's called survivalists. Yes, survivalists in the mountains of Idaho. She spent her life prepared for the end of the world by stockpiling home canned peaches and sleeping with her head for the hills bag. And she did not set foot in a school until she was 17 years old. So yeah, honestly, I'm having a pretty hard time deciding between these two. I'm gonna read the first couple pages of both of these and see which one feels like the right pick. Okay, I think I'm going to go with Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. Second to last pick, we got literary fiction / general fiction. Let's see what we have. All right, I think I already know what I'm gonna pick for this one, and it is Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus. This one is about a female chemist who is trying to overcome gender inequality in the 1960s. She ends up on a cooking show where she ends up gaining a lot of popularity for her unconventional cooking methods, and she dares to change the status quo. All right, our last and final pick is going to be Book that matches your outfit. As you can see, I am wearing this black shirt with cherries on it. I think I know the perfect book that is going to match this shirt. Boom. The Chain by Adrian McKinty. I'm not sure if this is a thriller mystery or if it is a horror book, but it's basically a creepy, spooky, eerie book about a kidnapping chain. The back of the book says you just dropped off your child at the bus stop. A panicked stranger calls your phone, your child has been kidnapped. The stranger then explains that their child has also been kidnapped by a completely different stranger. The only way to get your child back is to kidnap another child. You are now part of the chain. Perfect spooky vibes for October, and it is matching my shirt quite nicely, so it's going on the TBR. And with that being said, we have completed our October TBR. I know that these are going to be some good reads. We're gonna do a quick little recap. For on Kindle Unlimited, we have The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. For my dad's parent pick, we have 5-Star Stranger by Tang. For my mom's parent pick, we have The Only One Left by Riley Sager. For nonfiction, we have Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. For literary fiction slash general fiction, I picked Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus. And for a book that matches my outfit, we have The Chain by Adrian McKinty. Also, obviously, I don't have the physical book at the moment, but for a library book, we picked Thunderhead by Neal Shusterman. And you guys already know that I usually also read Reese's book club pick for the month and my book club's book pick for the month, but I don't know what either of those are going to be at the moment. So if I do know by the time I'm editing this, I will put them on the screen, but if not, I'm sure you guys will see them in a wrap up or something. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below letting me know anything you want to let me know. Also, feel free to follow me on Instagram and make sure that you are subscribed so that you can see more videos from me in the future. But for now, that is all, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. All right, second to last for library bit. You didn't see that.